Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the second half of 2J's No F's podcast, or whatever it is we're gonna call it. We got an F here. No, just kidding. He's a regular guy. He's a great guest. He's currently pursuing comedy. He's a touring comedian. He's been doing it for about a year or so, and a really good buddy of ours also. His name's Colton Herman, and he is single-handedly tearing down the comedy establishment, one run from the police at a time. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast, Colton.
Welcome, Colton.
How you doing, bud?
What's up?
Yeah, let's get the speaker as close to the mic as we can. We're flipping over here.
Yeah, get him right over there. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, bro.
All right.
Hell yeah.
It's a good Saturday, right? We are on Saturday.
It is. Some people would say it's Saturday.
Yeah.
I would say days were invented by Jews, too.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah, people don't know that the calendar was a Jewish scheme.
Have you guys heard the conspiracy theory about the calendar that we're missing a month? Have you heard that one yet?
Oh, shit. That's crazy. So, Colton,
yeah.
You've been doing comedy about a year?
I'd say like 9 months.
Okay, well, first rule of comedy, you got to big yourself up. You've been doing comedy about a year, huh?
I'd say like 3 years.
3 years,
Yeah.
Nice. That's what I wanted. There you go.
Three and a half.
He's a seasoned comedian. He goes up at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, people know.
He's kind of a big deal, guys. You were on the radio this week, the big leagues. How was that?
Dude, oh my gosh, that was crazy. I can't even believe that happened. That was cool. Yeah, I just went to, it was called Urban, oh my god, what was it? That was probably extremely racist.
There were a couple of urban people there, if you know what I mean.
It was an urban environment.
Highly unique South Florida. Yeah, highly unique radio, South Florida.
Interesting. Kind of a
Wow,
Broward
yeah.
County crowd, you might say.
I was just, wow, that was so racist. Oh my God.
We was radio hosts.
We was Kangs.
I'm so sorry, that just happened. Wow.
It's okay.
I immediately apologize. I'm so sorry.
It's
I
cool.
need to watch myself.
You're just starting to get famous. You've already gotten canceled. It's cool. We don't have a platform yet, Colton. You're safe.
Day one. That's
No.
the plan.
But that's a strategy.
Oh, shit. No, that's how. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to trump it. You step up the controversy. You know, there's no bad publicity.
But yeah, anyway, I was on, highly unique radio, South Florida. It was actually so dope. Shout out to Rich Black for hosting that thing and making it run the way it does. And shout out to G, aka Mina. She put me on basically. Yeah, she saw me perform my songs at Bar Nancy.
Oh, so this was a music-related spot.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot to say in my intro that you're not just pursuing comedy, but music too. People might not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so, Mina saw me, and we linked up, and she invited me on to this radio show that she takes over for a couple hours, and it was hella fun, and they put on a couple of my songs, and that was just, like, so surreal. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yo,
That sounds like a huge...
Radio?
Yeah.
Where can people find your songs, man?
Anywhere. SoundCloud, Spotify. It's just my name, Colton Herman, without the vowels, all one word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you do that without the without the vowels?
It's just like CLTN.
Okay.
CLTN. Yeah, HRMN.
Yeah. Interesting.
At SoundCloud, YouTube, all those.
Yeah, everything. Instagram, Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
You kids on your social media.
You gotta be on everything.
You're on OnlyFans too, huh?
Chatterbait. No, that's cool. Jerkmates. Get all the plugs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
Hell yeah.
I put in like 20-hour days.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm all about making money.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel like any comic who's really serious. Like I got 40-hour a week day job, and then at night I'm doing comedy, and like Casey, you work, and then at night you're doing comedy. It's like you got to be just so fucking ambitious if you want to get anywhere in this.
Yeah, and then
social, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta. It looks like Jake's pretty much everywhere every night if you go on his TikTok. Like
That's
I would
true.
swear that you do like 2 sets every night. You know, so it's all about the image that you portray,
Yeah.
and like the perception of somebody can be different than the reality.
Oh,
So
dude, yeah. Last night I was on the wait list at Side Splitters Comedy Club. I didn't even go up, and just because I networked well, one of the comics was like, "Great set tonight." I'm like, I didn't perform. And he was like, "Oh, you were just good last week," is what I meant. I'm like, "Thanks." And then he said something specific about the set, so I knew he wasn't bullshitting. But I was like, that's fucking cool that I just like show face enough that people were like, "Yeah, he did have a good 5 last night." And I'm like, I didn't even go up. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Hey, take the win.
Right.
Take the win where you can get it.
They gave me a free popcorn last night too. Shout out to Side Splitters, Wesley Chapel. I'm up there a lot. I love that spot. That's a good fuck. They had a crowd last night too, like 50, 60 people. It's always nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last week too, when I went up there, they had 50 people, and I'm like, I fucking love a good crowd, dude.
Yeah. And you know how it is. Like when you do open mics, there's a lot of times that like you won't have a crowd. So any crowd is
like just comics.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. And like they're laughing out of shock. If you say something really dark, you're gonna get them to laugh, or if you bomb, they're gonna laugh. But they're not gonna laugh at just funny shit because they've already thought of that premise.
Or they've already heard it before.
Or they've heard it. Both, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice
The
nice to
comic
have a
brain,
crowd.
you're just dead inside a little bit. So it's like if your audience is comics, it's like
It's a strange
it's
audience.
weird. It's a bad acid trip.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the number of people that are there not for comedy need to outnumber the number of comics.
Minimum. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like, it's really hard to gauge where exactly you're at.
Yeah.
Like, I went up last week at a place I'd never been, and I'm used to performing in front of only comics.
Right.
And you quickly realize, hey, the stuff that makes like these people laugh ain't really hitting with like the rest of the people that aren't insane.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's so true. I'll go to a kava bar and like I just run my clean shit because like if I do even a little bit dirty, maybe you get half the crowd laughing. The other half is like horrified. Like, oh my god! It's like, guys, I'm kidding. I don't actually think we should eat babies or something. You know, like
Yeah.
it's really tough.
yeah, it's a weird social climate that we're in right now.
So
for sure.
Colton, I'm hearing rumors that you had a drink thrown on your face in the comedy tour.
Get out.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's hear about that situation. What was the bit that preceded that? What joke? Like, you didn't say the N-word or anything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how the fuck could they have? Like, they knew I was Like, do they think I was ranting about like stuff? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, let's hear it, man.
Yeah,
And for clarification,
I don't think they were fans of comedy.
yeah, I've seen all your shit, and like just because we're at so many spots together, and like me and Casey always do dirtier shit than you, and neither of us have had a drink thrown on us. So I'm like, what the fuck kind of bitch was that? Like,
Dude, yeah, it's just crazy.
was it a guy? Was it a girl?
No, some LGBTQ lady. Yeah, no.
It was neither. It was neither.
Like,
She was a
some white
shapeshifter.
lady standing up for somebody who isn't a white lady. Like, it was
Jesus.
just very strange. Yeah, like,
Well-
sit down and understand I'm joking. Like,
Or
you're really
leave
not getting
quietly,
everything.
like it's not the end of the world. Like,
Right,
and
nobody
it's
died.
and it's 5 minutes. You're doing like a tight 5, right? It's just like, can you just like? I've seen scenes in a movie I didn't like that are longer than 5 minutes, and I don't walk out of the fucking movie theater.
Right.
What was the joke? Because like nobody can throw water on you now.
I don't know. It's probably I don't want to give away my jokes.
Oh, that's his IP. That's true. That's true. But it was pretty tame, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It was in the categorization of the alphabet soup.
Yeah. You weren't categorizing your favorite ethnic groups or something.
That's a funny joke, though.
That is, yeah. Number 1, Asians. Number 2, Latino. That's such a good. You can do a lot with that.
That's stupid. Yeah, he's like obviously being ironic. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just funny to me, like, well, because the thing is, like, in my head, I don't see myself as a racist person or whatever, but I do see how like racism exists and how like every white person is kind of like low-key racist. So.
Everyone is biased. I think everyone is biased. I don't think everyone is racist.
I think that's how we got here is by saying like, yo, only white people could be racist.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
I've seen a lot of groups be pretty racist.
Yeah, you realize that's not true when, like, I don't know, like, I've lived in a community where, like, I was one of 4 white guys and everybody else was black. And I can tell you, they can be pretty racist at you when you're white, like when you're outnumbered. So I think it's a trait that everybody has, but our culture has decided that, like, the whites deserve the blame for everything that's wrong, and, like, everybody else can't do any wrong.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think everybody is biased, you know, but, like...
Well, historically, white people were enslaving...
historically it's terrible, but it's like right now we all should be on the level playing field.
There's just like a generational trauma that's been passed down.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I mean by like, everyone's just a tiny bit racist. Like there's a little bit of generational trauma.
But like, that's not specific to one group. Like the Chinese could make that argument. They were blown to pieces by railroads. Like,
it is white people that were...
Often, yeah, but like white people were not even considered a group. Like Jews just became white people in the last 50 years.
Right.
It used to be Italians weren't white. Like it's sort of interesting how, you know, it used to be that, and it's funny because it's like people want to lump whites as one ethnic group, but then also they want to be recognized for their ethnicity. It's like, well, which is it?
Yeah, because you're like Austrian.
Isn't that person Scotch Irish, right? They're not white. If I told you were Asian when you were Filipino, you'd be like, no, I'm Filipino. Like, you know, like you want the specifics. It's interesting that they don't. Yeah.
Right, but like I don't know. That's what I mean though. Like when if I have a joke that's like maybe a little bit racist or something. Like anybody could have made that joke. 1, 2.
It depends on the angle. If you have a really smart angle.
Do you not get what irony is? Like, like, my jokes might just be too fucking smart for you or something.
Totally.
Like, you really think I'm being racist on stage right now? Like, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Like people laugh at these jokes all the time.
I've also seen...
You're the one person in the crowd who got offended, and it wasn't even directed at you.
That's the worst. That sucks.
We've all had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't had drinks thrown at me, but I've definitely had people just, like, be upset because they wanted to have a gotcha moment. And we kind of live in that society a little bit where it's like people want to have moral outrage at stuff, and they kind of are just looking for an excuse to do it. So it's like sometimes it'll have nothing to do with you or me or Kate. You know, like we've all had a moment where someone is just spinning out at us, and it's like, oh, this isn't even about me. Like this is about your shit and like the fact that you're having a bad day or a bad life. You know?
Well, that's what
just a lot of that.
That person probably has no friends.
Right.
They woke up and chose violence.
They've never laughed before. They're just angry.
Like, that's what I just chalk it down to. It's like, they're just fucking dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I need to not let them ruin my vibe.
And it takes
people laugh.
It takes zero courage. It takes zero courage to shit on somebody's act. It takes a lot of balls to go on stage and say something that's edgy and come up with an angle that people laugh at. You know, so it's just like hecklers will act like they're doing something equivalent to comedians by standing up to them, and it's like, no, you're a fucking coward.
Is there ever a good... Hecklers always seem to be dicks.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. Like, it's funny. Yeah. Like, I wonder about these people that go to comedy shows that, like, clearly don't want to laugh.
Why are you here? Yeah.
It's like I think there are people that are looking for outrage. Like that person that threw a drink on you wasn't there to laugh. Was it a she or like a they? I'm guessing they're there to get offended.
She looked like some lesbian bitch. Just straight up some butch, straight some butch who was there with her friend. I didn't even get a glimpse of her friend, but I heard that like they both got into a car and drove off together. So it's like I think that this lesbian chick was like standing up for her friend or something, and then they like.
It's always that, by the way. It's like some white woman
assaulted me.
Yeah.
It's always a white lady.
That, like the left side is like morally righteous, but then they'll go out and assault people for making jokes. Like, I'm literally on your team, and you're assaulting me. It's so weird. Like you're pushing me away.
so many of your
So
jokes
strange.
are punching down on misogynists or racists, and then they just completely don't understand you or your values.
Yeah, they completely just don't
Yeah.
get it. It's wild.
Yeah. You're one of the most woke people that I do comedy with, and you're like genuinely a supportive ally to like a ton of people. So in my head, I'm still just like, what kind of, like, one, what could you have said, and two, what, like, how fragile do you have to be to throw a drink at that? And like, it's weird.
For real.
I should have had so much water thrown at me if you had something objectionable. Because like, there's been a ton of times I've done stuff that maybe isn't even offensive, but is certainly dark, is certainly dirty, you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a weird vibe going on in America right now where I just think there are a group of people, and it sort of crosses every ethnicity, sexuality, gender orientation, where you just have people that are angry, and like it doesn't, like, I think at the upper levels it's been put on us as like political division, but it really isn't even that, because like I didn't even realize you were woke. I'm not at all, but we get along. So like I judge people based on an individual basis, where I think there are a lot of people out there in the world that like they take one thing about you and they want to summarize your entire character based off of like a sentence you said or a joke you made.
Yeah.
And I think people are more complex than that, you know?
Well, that'll happen all the time where like people will be like, did you hear what he said up there? I'm like, well, did you know he was joking? And like, did you know I know this guy in real life and they've done this favor for me here? They've gotten, you know, they've done that for me. They've bought me this. They've, you know, people who will like stick their neck out for you, get you a show here, get you a day job there. And then people will just be like, well, they had a bad night. Let me write somebody off completely. And it's like, no, we're human beings. Maybe we don't have the best jokes all the time. Even NBA players, they miss, what, 50, 60% of their shots? So, like, you know, to act like I just need to be a sniper up there and kill 100% of the premises and never offend anybody. It's like, no, you live in a utopia. That doesn't exist.
Right.
You know? Like, it's comedy. Someone's going to get offended. Bobby Goldsmith, he's got that great thing where he goes, hey, I got rid of all my offensive and any humor that might offend people, and so I don't have any jokes. That'll be all. And he does that as an opener. And it's like, that's what it's getting to. I get why he does that.
Yeah, we gotta move past that as a society.
Can we grow the fuck up and laugh, or just shut the fuck up? If you don't like that individual premise, wait for the next one. And maybe wait through their 5. Maybe their 5 is going to be bad. Okay. So what? That was 5 minutes. You watch terrible TV for 40-minute episodes all the time.
Yeah. I only start judging people, like, once they start defending billionaires.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
You gotta pick your billionaire, though, because even among that, you know, there's like always somebody that one person likes or somebody that another person doesn't. You know, I think the way to do it is just on the individual level. You know, like, I could drive a Tesla and not agree with anything Elon Musk is saying, but don't take it out on my Tesla.
And like, I hate his politics. I don't think that doing a Nazi salute is cool, but I do think inventing the first electric car that's fucking commercially popular, like, that's awesome. He's done way more for the environment than any asshole on Twitter tweeting at him, you know? So it's like, these things are really complicated.
Yeah, I mean, he has done good, so it's not like...
Yeah, we're all capable of good and evil.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
People are really gray. I don't think he's inherently evil. I don't think he's inherently good. I think he's a person. He's probably super out of touch with reality from always being insanely rich. But, like, you know, he definitely has done some good things. He's done some bad things. And people will just try to make everybody, like, the boogeyman. It's just sort of... I get tired of that trope, just villainizing everybody. There's nuance in the world, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way America can unite, like, I've thought about it, like, pretty deeply and for a very long time, and it's like, all right, how can we all unite? And, like, I don't know how old you guys were with when 9/11 happened. But
how old were you on 9/11, Colton?
5.
So you saw it at school?
Okay.
I don't remember it at all.
Oh, me neither.
So I was like 19, and there was a feeling of togetherness when we had like a foreign enemy that we all hated and like one person specifically. You know, like, dude, everybody, it wasn't about Islam or anything like that. It was on Osama bin Laden. And like, there was a brief time in America where everybody was united on that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have anybody being like, yo, I'm on Team Osama.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, so I think we need like a good foreign enemy that like.
We need a good war.
Yeah. Like, and maybe we could just make like, I feel like with all the internet media and stuff, like we could just make up a country.
Yeah.
You know, and like, hey, if you can get everybody hating those people, then there's a chance for unity. Like, you know, they did it in 1984.
Yeah.
They made a Jewish guy the enemy, which, you know, I'd shy away from that because that historically doesn't go well for us. but like, dude, I don't know if you guys have heard of Turkmenistan, but they got like super cheap gas, and the guy that runs it is like crazy and thinks he's a god. Like, I'm fine with that. You know, let's get everybody hating that guy.
Yeah,
and then we could do jokes again.
Yeah. So, Colton, what's your background with music? How long have you done that?
I've been making music for like 10 years.
So 10 years. So a lot longer than comedy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What got you into comedy?
My girlfriend, she took me to an open mic at Mana.
Right.
And she went up and did some jokes, and I was like, what? I gotta go up.
You're like, what? Women aren't funny. I guess I'll do this.
She was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Good.
She's funny. But she went up, and then I went up and probably bombed. But,
nice.
It was fun, yeah. Since then, I've just been like addicted to going up and trying to make people laugh.
It's a drug. It's
yeah,
a
it's definitely
high.
a
We're all
high.
just chasing it. Yeah.
You get that laughter. What made you get into comedy, Jake?
I used to do music for about 2 years, 18 to 20, and then 21 to like 23, I did improv. And then for the last 2 years, I've been doing comedy, 2.5 years maybe. I discovered like that I loved watching stand-up comedy over a little bit before COVID, and then during COVID, just started doing comedy. What about you, Casey? What got you into it?
I had like a midlife crisis.
Oh, wow.
And I'm older than I guess I'm a lot older than both of you guys.
Yeah.
I was sort of just in my shell, and I was talking to a therapist, and I brought up stand-up comedy. I've always liked it. I've always liked to laugh. Like, I think laughter is a great way of bringing people together, and it's a great way to, you know, just make things that are serious not so serious.
Why so serious?
Yeah, exactly. So I went to McCurdy's open mic a couple nights and evaluated. And like when I first got in there, and it is tough getting up, and I'm not like crapping on anybody, but the first guy that went in there was like terrified of being on stage. He was shaking. He was reading from a paper.
I've seen that kind of
and
shit,
I was like, you know, I don't know that I'm going to be good, but I know I can do better than that.
Right.
And like, I just sort of pushed myself into doing it. And yeah, once I started, like I had a really great first open mic, and then I took the class, and I've just kind of kept at it ever since.
Yeah, that McCurdy's class is great. Shout out McCurdy's. Yeah. Yeah, you learn a lot in that. I took that about 1.5 years ago. I learned a ton. I kind of wish I'd taken it when I first started instead of a year into it. But whenever you take it, it's a good ass class, good opportunity.
I liked the stage at the end. I was not a huge
spot. Yeah.
I was not a huge fan of the class, but I was a huge fan of getting the stage at the end.
Yeah.
Like I didn't tell anybody that I was going. Like I'm prone to depression, so I think that like a lot of times I build up these constructs in my head where like anybody that's laughing at me is doing it to be polite.
Oh no!
So I didn't tell anybody, and I wanted to see what I wanted, what a bunch of randos were going to think.
Yeah.
And people laughed, and I was like, all right, so not everybody in the world is conspiring against me.
Yeah.
Boom.
Exactly.
Right.
We're conspiring against everybody else.
Yeah, that's and maybe it's projection, you know?
Yeah.
Jewish projection.
Exactly.
But it's fun, and you like doing comedy, Colton, in spite of getting assaulted by a lesbian.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Nothing's that serious. I mean, it could have been an acid attack. So I guess
That's true.
There's always ways to look at it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it afterward. I was like, damn, they could have literally had a gun and just shot me right in the fucking face.
Damn.
And then ran off.
That's
and
true.
like, I guess there would have been a police investigation, you know what I mean? But I would have been dead.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of always true. It's a terrifying one.
Because we live in America and guns are so free and like I don't know, it's like I'm not saying like I'm not like against guns or anything, but like it is just weird that like my jokes, me joking, and like somebody assaulted me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, just don't laugh. If you don't find it funny, just wait for the next joke. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, so and then like the next time I went up to do my jokes, I did a disclaimer, and nobody laughed at anything I said, and I was like, okay, so now like the disclaimer totally took away the surprise factor of it all, you know?
Yeah, you got to just go right into it. I try not to even ask a crowd how they're doing because everyone asks them that. Just go right into the jokes.
Yeah, it's weird because like you don't know, you know. Clearly, I think we all agree that like the default mental state of America is unstable at the moment. So like you never know anybody's headspace when you go on there. You know. Like people can perceive things completely different than you meant them, and you just gotta. I think it's like you just gotta roll with the punches. Like, all right, that's on them. That
you gotta
ain't
know
me.
when it's their shit versus your shit, and just like know when it's whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, how much longer is that tour you're doing?
I'll be back Wednesday night.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Where you at right now?
Miami.
Damn, nice.
I'm just gonna do a couple shows in Orlando and then come back for that McCurdy's open mic.
Oh hell yeah!
Dude, good on you, man.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like there was something else I wanted to do on Wednesday. I don't remember.
Yeah, I like to see people succeed. You know, it's good to hear. Like me and Jake were talking earlier about. You know, we're all really in competition with ourselves, not with other comics. There's plenty of room for everybody. You know, there's plenty of different forms of comedy. You know, whether you like somebody's act or not, that's really unimportant. What's important is making the crowd laugh.
Respect the craft, respect the crowd, make each other better. Don't fucking tear each other down. And it's all about making people laugh. So it's like, why do we beef with other comics? Why do comics yell at a crowd? None of that makes sense to me.
No, me either. Like, we're all just trying to do our best and, like, get somewhere. Like, none of us are at a level where we're stepping on anybody's back, you know?
Yeah, and if you're and once you start being successful, you don't actually have to worry about other people because you're already successful. So it's just like, comedy is so saturated that it never really makes sense to be extremely competitive or territorial. Because it's just, like, so specific to your act and the opportunities you can get. And it's not really, like, I can't ever say, like, oh, this guy ruined my opportunity, or that guy, because it just hasn't happened yet in, like, 2 years of comedy. I don't know.
Right. Even if you're doing a roast battle, like, that's really the only time you're competing, and I think if you're doing it in the sport of, you know, in the spirit of, like, I want to show you the best that I've got, you show me the best you got, you can do that and actually not hate the other person after you get off stage, you know? But you got to develop, like, some thick skin, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the dude on Tuesday, I did a show on Tuesday that didn't go great. I misread the room completely. I was getting some daggers. I felt like if people had access to a cup of water to throw on me, they would have. And
they didn't want to waste their beer.
No, the host told me, he's like, dude, you were funny. You just got to be armor plated and like, just, hey, people are going to hate it. So what? You know, like it doesn't matter as long as there are people laughing, like that's what's up. You know, not everybody's going to like you. They'll get by. It's comedy. It's words.
And it's not about them. You know, you care about what the crowd thinks, not one or two assholes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like weird. Sometimes I feel like I gotta go after my set now.
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you want to just bail and fuck off. Other times you kill a set, you want to flirt with women, etc. See where the fucking night takes you. Stay up till 4 a.m. at a friend's house.
Yeah, dude, once you're married, that goes away. So just remember that.
Yeah, it's fun. I have a problem where, like, if I have a good set or a good night, I just start chasing that night, and I don't ever want to sleep. I just want to be like, no, this feeling's going to last forever.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a drug with long-lasting effects. You know,
Oh, for sure.
Jake put on a show, a Jewish comedy night, and you know, I was just kind of doing open mics and not really getting anywhere. And like before that night, I was really nervous. After that night, it was like I sort of got reinvigorated with the spirit of like, oh, I do actually want to do this. I want to keep doing something comedic, like not just as a hobby, but pursue it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you need those moments of uncomfortability, and then that win, and then that can propel you along.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you try to take something on that might be more than you can handle.
Yep.
You find out you can handle it. Maybe you didn't do it perfectly, but you did pretty good. There's something to learn. And like, you know, that process of just like leveling up and skill progression and building your audience and building your craft and your number of minutes total in the set, it's just so rewarding and exhilarating.
Right. There's no ceiling. You know, like you can
It never stops.
Yeah.
I mean, Seinfeld is still doing it.
Yeah,
So
he's
it's
still
just like,
funny.
You never have to quit. Oh, yeah.
You know, this chicken's looking at me like, that's all you got?
What?
Yeah.
The chicken? What chicken?
Would you bring a chicken with
I've
you?
been feeding these wild chickens.
Oh, hell yeah. That's fire.
Yeah, but it looks like they ate all the food I gave them. So
Oh,
now they're
damn.
like, right.
Are you there solo, or did you bring your girlfriend with you, or what's?
No, I'm just alone. Yeah, just me and my car.
Hell yeah. Tell them about the truck
My
setup.
friend is pushing it. What?
Tell them about the truck setup. What's it like on the road?
Oh, I got a bed in the back, and yeah, like underneath the bed is storage, so that's nice. And yeah, I mean, I don't really hang out in the back a lot. If I'm hanging out, if I'm just chilling, I usually just sit in my driver's seat. Like, I don't really need to go in the back. I low key like, I am like a little. I like being on the road and hitting shows in different cities, but it is like kind of embarrassing, you know, because I'm literally homeless.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It's like I don't want to be viewed as somebody who isn't contributing to society or something, or you know, like
Anybody that's thinking on that level is not worth it. Like, you are actually pursuing something that in the long run is going to be much more important and lucrative. Like, if you can make comedy work, that's a lot cooler than just clocking into a 9 to 5. No disrespect to everybody that works every day. Like, I work a 9 to 5. I do comedy. I can confidently say which one I think is more fun, gratifying, and which one I'd rather my life to be.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So it's just like, you're pursuing something. We'll see if it pans out. I fucking hope it does. But like, regardless, anybody who's, you know, turning their nose down at you investing and applying yourself, like, fuck them.
Yeah,
and that's a big thing with comedy. Like, you can't worry about what other people think.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, hanging out in parking lots, just like hanging out in the back of my car, it just feels a little weird, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. But it's like, it's fine. They don't own the parking lot. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I just got to get over myself. Yeah, that's the only thing. Really, the only struggle I have right now is getting over my own ego, basically. So, but yeah, like other than that, living on the road is fucking awesome. I suggest everyone does it.
Bro, if I didn't have an apartment and like a day job, I would fucking It's like that's kind of the quickest way to test. Well, ideally, what I would want to do is go on the road as an opener for somebody more famous, and that way I can have gigs.
Right, that's like my goal right now is to just like get into different scenes and like get involved in other people's like let people know I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Keep showing face. People are noticing. Yeah.
Right. Like, and hopefully when I come back, if I see somebody like and they like my set next time they see it, like then they'll offer me a show or something. You know what I mean? Or
hell yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what's gonna happen. I'm just like having fun. And living in my car.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're contributing. You're contributing laughter to society.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's valuable.
Another way to frame it, like, dude, there are a lot of homeless people that are smoking fentanyl and attacking people right now.
Yeah.
So, like, you aren't doing that.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to do something productive.
You're not one of the Walking Dead homeless.
Right.
You're just trying to do comedy.
Yeah, at least I don't smell like shit.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I literally, I make sure I'm like the cleanest homeless person you will ever meet.
That's a good bit. You should write that one down. I don't mean to brag, but I am the cleanest homeless guy you will ever meet.
That's actually funny.
Hell yeah.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
And as far as, like, the ranks of homeless people, dude, like, you're at the upper echelon. You are not a zombie. You know, like, so that speaks something in and of itself, because it's easy to crash and burn and, like, hate everybody else, you know, but you're out there trying to do something to make, you know, somebody smile.
Yeah.
There's no friggin' shame in that, you know?
Yeah, that's tight.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, do you have anything you'd like to plug before we tie this podcast off?
Plug my social media, I guess. I don't know.
Hell yeah. What is it? Colton Herman, no vowels?
Yeah, no vowels. One word.
Hell yeah.
CLTNHRMN.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see.
Where can we see you live? Plug that.
All over Tampa usually. Yeah, like if you just follow my Instagram, I'm gonna try to keep my activity on there.
Hell yeah.
And then, but yeah, I mean, other than that, just a vegan option. Choose that. It's the only thing else I'd plug.
Hell yeah. Choose veganism. Don't choose violence. That's
choose
awesome.
my social media and veganism, and that's it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and being our first guest. Man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Hell yeah. Have a great one,
Good
bro.
night.
Thanks.
Peace. All right, that was Colton Herman, and that was the first episode of our podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, guys. Peace.